Oh shit! Ain't that about some shit? What up? What up? What up, Dow? How you feeling, Dom Richie?
How you doing, DJ? What's
We
happening? We didn't have our intro, huh? Didn't make
Nah, but we didn't have no. We just had a countdown. We didn't have much
it.
of
I was
a.
like, oops. I was swallowing. I was like, oops.
Uh,
How you doing,
oh,
brother?
I'm doing good. Live from the West Coast to the East Coast, man, on some college basketball today. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, man. I am totally unorganized right now, but that's the great part. This is what me and Don Ricci do. When we could do our shows, it's all authentic. It's just us doing what we do. So yeah, I'm
That's
I'm,
it,
I'm
man.
arranging a few things, kind of straightening some things up in front of me.
That's what we do.
Um,
We cap. We cap. Sometimes we capping as we're going. And listen, that's the way we all doing it, right? We're here to cap. There ain't no games that we're talking about or putting out that we're not playing. That whether mounts don't matter is the point that we're putting our money on any game that we put out there. You know, hopefully that's what most of the people are doing, but you just never know, right? But I did put that out, and transparency is our thing. Like like we talked about the other day. When we put out our video picks, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. We're going to talk about it all. Never shy away from any losses. So that's our
we
game
got we got
out
people's
here.
in the chat already with us
What's up,
today.
Wine
Oh, my
Time?
man Wine Time in here. What up with you, Wine
What's
Time?
happening, man?
We got my
So
man Fleet Mathis up in here, man. Thank y'all for showing up. Um, yeah, I feel you, man. Already know how we do it. We just real cappers, man. It's nothing to it. The internet is now so flooded with some fake people, man. It's almost ridiculous, man. But all we need is a couple diamond chains and a fake background of a big house or something, and hey, that's what's going on. But over here, we don't do that, man. We trying to win with y'all. My man Weinstein got his plays all lit
oh
up in the
yeah,
chat. Y'all go check that out right there. And if you don't follow Wine Twine on Twitter, make sure you go check out my man Weinstein. And me, this is my first time on camera in a while, so another reason
yeah,
why I'm
you, me too.
unorganized.
Me too. It's been
Cause
a while. It's been a while. But it's a new year. We had a little bit of a rough year last year, but it's a new year, and we are back in style. You know me. I'm waiting for. It's always what I'm waiting for is this. My New York Mets are waiting for my Major League Baseball season to start. But in the interim, we have college basketball. We have our show. We'll be on every Saturday. We got next. We're keeping the We got next show alive. Tribute to our boy who started it off. We got next our boy T. So that's how we're gonna roll, man. And
absolutely.
let's go. That's it. Go to it. So and stick around, Wine Time, because we are against each other on one of those plays.
Uh
Um,
oh.
and I do like uh, that UConn Georgetown game is that Georgetown game is very interesting. That's for sure. Um, I could see why you're on Georgetown. I was going back and forth with that sucker, but anyhow, to get it started, DJ, to get it started, I'm gonna go. Let me see. Let me go with this game first. The first game I want to go with. I took Iowa State. I really don't know why they're not favored in this game. To be honest with you, um, they they're playing. Texas Tech, which Wine Time is on. Listen, the Cyclones are 13-1 in for the year, which I kind of like. They're coming off that loss against Auburn, which is another reason why I like them. I just feel like the Texas Tech's home that loss against UFC by 4 points showed me a little something. I think the experiences with Iowa State. I took them plus 1.5, but the money line is only 105. I just think the wrong team is favored here. I don't know what line our boy Wine Time got, but that's what I went with, man. I like Iowa State in this game on the road. to start off my card. How about you, DJ? Okay, now I got my
Um,
stuff back.
my
Go ahead.
my first one coming here. I'm gonna try to do it time correlated. Is Charleston South and Monmouth. And this one right here, Charleston South is let me see, Charleston South. South is 117 in the team rankings, and Mount is 267. So it's one of these dirt bag games early in the day. It fits the model right here. As far as the point spread, it opened up at six. It's up to 60. I mean, 6.5. Um, team ranking says here that teams like Charleston did better against the spread. 52.7% of the time ATS. So it's one of those, above ATS spots right there. Another good look on it is Charleston is a 5-3 ATS on the road. They're 6-1 at home ATS. They're 7-2 in the last 10 games ATS. I'm over here listening to myself.
You
Let
have
me
an
send this
echo?
out to Twitter real quick. Yeah, I hear a little echo, but it's no
All
big
right.
deal. We get back on track right here. But yeah, overall they're 11-4 ATS. So they're a big team on the road playing this Malmont team. Let's just hope they go in there, keep their mind on basketball, and finish the job right there. And it already went up a half a point. I'm betting these as a matter of fact, guys, while we doing this because like I said, I've been unorganized today. So let me go over to Bovada right here and let's see college basketball. Let me see. One over here is what 11 a.m. 11 a.m. Where are we at? Charleston. Come on. I don't even know what my book got it for it, but for what you call them, it was 6.5. Just give me time. We just gonna take our time, man. I ain't in no rush. I don't know about you.
No, I'm good. It's
Yeah,
a snowy
yeah,
day, man. It's freezing cold outside. I ain't going nowhere today. And
yeah.
and I and now all my information just popped back up. I didn't have my information when I was talking about Iowa State. That's gonna be a close game. I wonder what you think about the total in that game one time. I know I looked up Ken Palm. He had it 77-76 Iowa State. So it's gonna be a close match either way. It's gonna be a bucket. I would think anyway. The reason why I did like Iowa State is they're averaging 86 points a game. They're in that
I'm
top 10,
listening. You waiting on me?
so no, I was just finishing up my
Oh,
Iowa
oh,
State because I
oh,
lost it before. And they're shooting 50% from the floor, and their defense is ranked 15th. So those were the reasons why I liked Iowa State. But you can make a case for either one of these teams, like most of these college basketball games. Now, the game you were talking about was
yeah. I got College of Charleston. I got it in at
gotcha.
Bovada. It was at 6.5 minus 110. So I got that one in. That's one of my picks for today. You go for the next one, Dom. I'm gonna get my stuff together for my next one.
What time does that game start?
It
11
starts
o'clock
at
your
10
time?
a.m. 10
Your
a.m. my
time.
time. 10
Okay, so
10
1
a.m. my
p.m.
time.
Eastern. Okay, Iowa State starts 2 p.m. Eastern. Um, the next game I am on is Kansas. It was another 1 point game. I took the money line minus 118. It opened like minus 105. I don't know what the points are up to now, but you know, I, that last game Cincinnati played to me showed a lot. Um, I like Jayhawks. They beat that Arizona State by 19 at home, and Cincinnati has not yet won a Big 12 game. And I think Kansas is one of the big one of the better teams. Even though they lost their opener in the Big 12, that was an opening game. That's not such a big thing. Averaging 79 points a game, they play at 150 pace. So that's kind of what I look at. You see like 160, 150 pace and under. I like to see that. And they're shooting 49% from the field. So another one more reason why I like Kansas is the experience. They got one of the oldest teams in the country, and Cincinnati, man, they're 0-3 in conference play. I think that means a lot. So I'm with Kansas. Another line I don't really understand, but like I said,
Put my man down with Kansas right there. So for me, my next game up right here is Virginia at Stanford. Stanford's number 92. Virginia is ranked 112 in this one. Coming in this one, let me see what the line opened up at.
which game you on?
Lines opened up. Stanford and Virginia. It's Virginia at Stanford. The line opened up at 7. It's all the way up to 8 now, so we getting it kind of late. But I am going to be on this play. This is one of my favorite plays of the day right here. This Cal game. This is the recent thing I've been taking notice to right here with these games where they're playing first time in the new conference alignment. You know, there's not much history on the two. In this one, we got Virginia coming all the way from Virginia coming over here to Stanford to play ball. You know,
East
and
Coast,
they
West
even
Coast.
they talked about this earlier in the season that more coaches. That's why you got a lot of NBA players and stuff are going to be becoming coaches because knowing how to teach these young guys how to travel is going to become a thing because of the travel that they have to go through. So me, I think basketball is played in different regions. Out here on the West Coast in Cal, we play a little different than out there on the East Coast with Virginia. So it's going to be a different style of play. And this one, the books are telling us that obviously they like Cal in this one, so I'm riding with the books, and I'm taking Cal minus what it went up to
Stanford.
8.
Stanford.
Stanford. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm mixed up.
No, we were talking because me and you were talking about that Cal game, and which is a game I kind of is later
Yeah,
tonight that I kind of was leaning on, but that's why you had that in your head.
yeah,
But
yeah. And my mouse was sticking too.
so Virginia at Stanford, yeah, and Virginia plays that kind of a slower type of game. Um, so
Yeah, and
that
see,
game is at 4-3-2. That game is 1 o'clock your time, 4 Eastern.
yeah. So, and I guess this is a rematch right here. They played already on what was it, the 8th, and Cal Virginia lost to Cal 61-75. So, I mean, Virginia lost to Stanford 61-75. So, yeah, I'm on Stanford here. Let me go ahead and punch that one in. That game comes on. What time do we say?
I think it's 4 o'clock Eastern.
4 o'clock Eastern. So
4 o'clock
that's
Eastern.
1 o'clock here. Let me see what number I get on Bovada right now. Here we go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Where is this thing at? 1 o'clock, Stanford. Here we go. Stanford, Virginia. Went down to 7.5. So I'll take it at
Oh,
7.5.
that's your line.
Yeah, that's
That's
my
your
number. I'm taking
that's
it
your
right
number.
there. 7.5. So yeah, put me on Stanford. At that time slot right there. What's your next one? Big.
My
I
next
almost
my
called you
next
Big
game.
Ragu.
I've been called a lot worse things in my day, so I'll take
I
it.
heard that. My bad.
The next game I'm on is South Florida. They're on the road again, which is amazing that South Florida is always on the damn road. Um, and they're playing Tulane, who's not, who hasn't played good on the road themselves or in conference play. They only shoot like 76 points a game. They play at the bottom, of the 150 type. They're on the other end of that. They struggle shooting the ball. They're like a 44% from the field. They're not a good team. They lost against pretty bad teams too.
Hmm.
Furman, Wyoming, New Orleans, Belmont. Those are teams that are not playing FDU. So Florida 9-6 on the year. They're on a 2-0 run in the league play. They average 79 points a game. Shoot at 48%. You know what I like about South Florida? They started out the year. They were a little shaky starting at the year, and it's because they lost their coach. Their coach died, and I didn't even know that until after a game or two into the year. Their coach died, and it racked the team. The assistant coach took over. He really had to get the team back on their footing. Last couple of games, they've been playing well, and I think it continues today. They're not playing a particularly good team. It's not that South Florida is going to, light up, the NCAA world in March Madness, but they are plus 3.5. I guess because they're on the road. Um, I love them today, so I took them plus 3.5 minus 110. South Florida. I like that angle
South
with the
Florida.
coaches. I like that whole. I like that whole angle too. When you
Yeah,
got
those type of angles seem to always work. Not I can't say always work, but they
right.
work at a good rate for basketball and especially college basketball. I remember years ago, it was um, it was someone who knew that some chick, their daughter's friend was dating two guys that was on UNLV. Remember that?
Yeah,
And we faded UNLV that year, and we made a lot of money doing so. So those type of edges, I love hard edges like that. Those are inside right there. But going to my next game is going to be Virginia Tech at California. Now this one
I was
fits
going
my
to take
theory.
that. Hmm.
Virginia Tech is going to California. Virginia Tech is 128. Cal is 120 in this one. So this one's a little sticky, but the line's a little less. I'm getting it for 7. But Cal scores about 7 points per game on average more than them. And Virginia Tech is about 2 points tighter on defense. But Cal does cover the offensive rebounds. Their offensive rebound 33% to 30%, and also effective field goal shooting and defensive rebounds. They right about the same. So slight edge with Cal right here, and with the 7 theory that I do, part of it I'm starting to believe too is these. This it has something to do with those last minute garbage points and the free throws and the fouls. So teams like Cal are expected to be ahead in this game by like 4 or 5 points going into the last 2 3 minutes of the game, and hopefully we get over that 7 right there. So I already bet that one right there. Let me see if there's any other edges that I liked it on this one that I want to share with you guys. As far as ATS situation, so Cal is 4-2 away, 4-4-1 at home, 6-4 on ATS in the last 10, but they're 4-1 in the last 5 ATS, and they're on a 3-game winning streak ATS. So Cal has the ability to close the game out and get it done right here, and we're gonna hold them to that right here in this game. So that's that one for me. What's your next one,
I,
Big?
I like California, man. I like that game. They're a good team.
Yeah, you
California's a good
cashed with
team.
them. You cashed with them a
Yep.
few days, and we put
Yep.
that pick out there. I hope you guys be paying attention to our picks that we throw out there on the daily. Make sure you sign up to Who Bangin', subscribe, follow, tell a friend, become a member, however you want to do it. And yeah, we've been putting those picks out. We also put them on X or Twitter as well, and TikTok and Instagram. So be looking out for those daily picks during the week. I can't say that they come every day, but they are the daily picks. What's your next one, man?
Another game I like, which is a game that's a lot of people talking, going back and forth with, but it's Vanderbilt at Missouri. I took Missouri minus 3.5. I think it opened at 3, minus 118. I like Missouri in this spot. First of all, Vanderbilt. I don't really like how they're playing at all. I don't think they're match up to Missouri whatsoever. Missouri's 12-3 on the year. They're off a home win against LSU. I forget how much they beat them by, but it was a lot. 14, 15 points maybe. It might even been more than that. They average 86 points a game, shoot at 50% from the field, which is very very and they don't take it that many shots. They're like a very what's the word I'm looking for? Efficient team. That's the word I'm looking for. They're a very efficient team. I think they're like the eighth or ninth best true shooting team in the country. They really they're just a strong team. Vanderbilt has played a weak schedule. They got to play defense against a very efficient team like Missouri. I don't see how Vanderbilt really stays close in this game, but I can see them scoring some points. The total is 156.5. That I kind of went back and forth with that, but I stuck with Missouri minus 3.5, minus 118. All these plays I bet today were on Bet Rivers. And that was the one, two, three, four. That's the fourth game. Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
took. That's what I took. Um, and there was something else I did. Oh, I did a three team money line parlay today also. But as far as this show is concerned, I think Missouri's a solid game. I think South Florida is. I think Kansas is. The first game that Iowa State Texas Tech game, I can't wait to watch that one because
hmm
like Wine Time said, the crowd, and that might be the difference in this game, that the crowd is gonna should be wild in this game. So I like Iowa
oh
State. I
man,
did pretty well with them last year.
my
So
boy, my boy Weinstein, and knowing the impact of the atmosphere and all that good stuff. He is really good at that, man. And I this year he proved it to me. I was like, wow, that's a really a thing. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen it work, like where how they say going to the bounce house, or going to the whiteout and all that kind of stuff. At times it make a big difference, especially on Saturdays like this Saturday too. That's why you get a lot of upsets and all that kind of stuff, because a different crowd and all kinds of stuff. So
listen,
man,
we
this
know
college basketball stuff goes deep.
we listen. The more and more years I do this, the more experience I've become. I've learned one thing, man. Gambling's a lot more. Sports betting is a lot more than stats and a lot of other things come into the play with it with a making a bet. And I'm sure some of the newcomers are gonna find that out. We found out the hard way. We try to give out some information so everybody else don't find out the hard way. But it's a lot more than just stats. And like we were talking about before in the NFL, for instance, to me, it's all about the money with it's all about the money with the with and the line and the situation with NFL more
hmm
than any sport. The stats to me mean less and less in NFL, and the games I'm winning are those type of games. So,
Yeah,
have nothing to do with the stats. Anybody can study stats, and if it was only about the stats, we'd all be rich. So there you go.
yeah. Your
How's that
mic just
smart
got
money? Is that
loud.
any better? He said he couldn't hear me. Is that
Yeah.
any better, brother?
Oh,
I tried to turn up.
okay. You
So
are you are up much better. So
go
I
ahead.
don't know.
Good.
The
There we
crowd
go.
is better than me.
Yeah,
But
he said. There we go. Thank you, brother.
my next game is St. John's and Villanova. This is Big East ball. I have my tools here for Big East. So I'm gonna go ahead and run my tools. I'm already on St. John's minus the 6.5, and I got a few reasons why I'm on that. Over here
Interesting.
on team rankings. Let me get to that one.
And you had a
Um,
good call with Villanova when they played UConn that game. I took UConn. You took Villanova. That was
I
a couple
mean,
days ago, right?
yeah, but just like you said about that game, though, I can't. I mean, I happen to be on the right side of that game, but the way it came down at the end, I don't know if it was the luck, factor, or
It's
was
always
I really
something.
onto something? But the cap in that game was that um, it was one of the guards was injured on the UConn side,
Yeah, yeah, the
which was supposed to
freshman.
slow them
Yeah,
down. Yeah,
yep,
and then also on top of that, Villanova have more of a mature team. They got more seniors and stuff. They got a lot of
right.
freshmen over there on
That means a
UConn.
lot. And UConn hasn't been playing UConn ball. They really haven't been this year. That UConn haven't been playing UConn ball. I
Yeah,
was waiting for the first half line to come out. I was gonna maybe take the first half, but again, I see Winetime was on Georgetown. I don't blame him. Georgetown has played some decent. They've been up and down but they're a better team this year than last year. That's for sure.
yeah. Well,
Um,
Georgetown can shoot. They can really shoot this year. I thought it
yeah,
was fake or whatever, but they can really shoot from long and all that stuff, man. So, and this one
go ahead.
I got this Villanova and St. John's. Let's take a look at that one real quick. Line opened up at 7.5. It's went down, and to 6.5. And I like to stick with. I'm sticking with the book on this one. Villanova is a new team. Um, they play a little different than they've done in the past as far as their defense because they have a new coach. But in this matchup, head to head, over the last 2 years where this coach was here, St. John's has beat them both times. The last time 16-24, St. John's beat them 81-71. The line was at 3.5. St. John's was plus 3.5 in that game, and they cut one and covered. And then they played again 120, 124, 20, and 24. And St. John's beat them again 70-50. And St. John was a minus 3.5 in that game, and they covered as well. So I'm expecting them to cover as well in this one too. Let's see. ATS though, this is where for those that like Villanova in this one, Villanova ATS in the last five is 4-1. Um, Away they're 3-3, and they're 4-1 in the conference ATS, and they're 10-6 ATS overall. So Villanova, I can't say they have what it takes to get the job done, but on this one today, I don't think so. So I did a quick run on my little system over here to compare these two teams. I'm gonna just give you the conclusion. What it said is based on provided data, St. John appears to have an edge in scoring and rebounding, while Villanova has a better shooting efficiency and defense. It's worth nothing that this data only covers a portion of the season, and the team performance can't change. So they said the most important note about these two teams is St. John is ranked 2 and Villanova ranked 3 in the Big East standings. So this is a Big East fight off right here, and the fact that it would a lot of people are going to take Villanova with that many points, and I was wondering why. When I first looked at it, I really want to take Villanova, but all the numbers are lining up to say
Where's the
St.
game being
John's.
played? Does it
St.
say where it's being
John's.
played? It's playing at. But does it say are they playing at the Garden or are they playing at home? Does it say?
It just says New York.
Oh, okay,
Uh,
because they play a lot of their home games are at Madison Square Garden, which a lot of people across the country don't realize. And those games are huge in New York. St. John's is even when they don't play good, even when they didn't have a good team, they always play. They always get a lot of people going to the Garden. And Villanova travels well too. They're only up from Philadelphia, so if that's at the Garden, that's going to be a huge game. Even if it's at home, that the gym at St. John's is the big difference between
yeah.
that and Madison Square Garden. So just a little tidbit that people might not know about St. John's. That's why they're a good
And
travel team. Nowhere they play on the road really bothers them, even in places that are tough home crowds. Because, like I
uh-huh.
said, they're used to playing at Madison Square Garden. That's a big thing.
Oh,
So anyhow,
okay. I never been, but I take your word for it, 1,000%.
yeah,
But you don't got no more picks because you gave all yours. I got
yeah.
one last pick here. This one is the late night special right here. This one takes off at 7 p.m. over here, 10 p.m. over there on the east. Number 89, Oregon State, is playing number 283, Pacific. And this one, it fits my motto again right here. Point spread opens up at 7. It's all the way up to 9 now. These are usually big bangers right here. This probably might be a 20-point win for Oregon State, according to the way that my model works. And these two teams never played each other. On top of that, I think Pacific is over here in Stockton, in California. So Oregon State comes over to Stockton. That's a great vacation for them. A nice road trip to the Bay. They're gonna love it. They're gonna get there and they're gonna play their little hearts out and win this game for me. I'm all the way on Oregon State. Even the ATS, Oregon State is 9-1 at home, but they're 3-3 on the road. But those three on the road were to a couple tough opponents here and there. So let's see. Over here on the road, North Texas, Oregon. They lost on the road. So this one's not that tough of a game. A ranked 285 team, they should have a good time. They should really want to put some points up on this road game right here. So I'm on Oregon State. That's the big one for the day. Let's you think you could type up your picks real quick and put them in the chat, at least for my people that's here. What up, Big Rat Goo, X Nizzle, Smart Money Bets, Wake Up, break up and let's get this bread, man.
What do you call it? Do we also have? Don't forget, we got two football games today. One of the best weekends in NFL is Wild Card Weekend. We got some good games today. I don't know if you bet any of them, but I jumped on some games right away last week, Monday and Tuesday, which I don't really like doing, to be honest with you. And but for more reason than I don't got time to go into it now. But I'm not one of those guys that jump on games and you know I need to see line movement a little bit. I need to see a couple other factors, which that's the reason why I don't always get the best line. But be that as it may, I immediately took a parlay in the wild card weekend. It was plus 172 when I took it. It's the Chargers and the Bucks. First of all, we have plenty of time to talk about the Bucks game. It ain't till Monday night. But oh no, when is that game? Is that Monday night? Monday night's game? I'm not sure when the Bucks are playing, Sunday or Monday, but I like the Bucks in that game. I like Baker Mayfield. I've become a Baker Mayfield fan over the last
Oh
year or two.
shucks.
That's for sure. And the Chargers, it's a money line parlay plus 172. I like the Chargers from the beginning. I think that the Texans are not haven't really played good. I'm surprised they even got into the playoffs. To be honest with you, I know this year the quarterback over there got a little bit of exposed. They did have a lot of injuries and stuff, but I like the Chargers today. The other game is the Ravens game. Is that the second game today?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have.
Ravens.
That's a game I'm going to kind of play live. I don't know what to even do with that game. I know the whole theory with Pittsburgh and Tomlin and as an underdog, it really hasn't come true towards the end of the year. I lost on a couple games taking Pittsburgh as a dog this year. But be that as it may, playoffs are playoffs. I don't trust Russell Wilson. But we also know that the Ravens have choked in the playoffs already a couple times, dominating the main the season, and then not playing well in the playoffs. So that's a game I'm going to probably go live, play live with. If I was going to put a teaser at 9.5, I would take Baltimore down as opposed to take Pittsburgh up. To be honest with you, because I can see Baltimore either it's going to be that kind of game where they win by 3 or 4 points or blow them out. You can make a case for either side. I don't know how you feel about that game, but that's not a game I'm willing to put money on right off the bat. It's tricky this weekend, so we'll see what happens. I jumped on the Packers right away before I knew Love was really hurt, but he's playing. Hurt has also been hurt. He's going to be a little rusty. I like the Packers still, even though I got a bad number. I got him plus 3.5. I also took him as in the first half plus 3.5. One thing about the Packers is they start slow. They're one of the fewer teams in the NFL that take the ball on a kickoff. When they get the coin, a lot of teams defer. Most teams defer. The Packers are one that don't. They have a really good first quarter record. I took them in the first half plus 3.5. I could see Philly, coming back maybe if they're going to win the game. I know a lot of people are on Philly. Another thing is Philly played in a lot easier division than the Packers. That's for sure. Packers had to play Minnesota. Packers had to play Detroit. That's a tough division, man. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not just sold on Philadelphia. I took the Packers. One thing I do have on this game is, and you know me, I don't play props, but to me this made sense. So I took a prop with Saquon Barkley. Being a Giant fan and being from New York, I know that, and even this year at the beginning of the year, Barkley is pretty good at those little pop out screen passes, and he's pretty good at at some of those plays because they're always keen on him running the ball. Now this year, those last 4 or 5 games, maybe 3 or 4 games with Philadelphia, they just fed Barkley the ball. They were trying to get him that record before the last game of the season because they really didn't want him playing last week. And a shout out to him that it didn't make the record bigger than the team, and he didn't play last week, and he was only shy by not many, maybe 100 yards or something. But anyhow, Barkley's receiving yards this week was only 9.5. It was, let's see, minus 123, I think it was, 125, 123. But to me, that popped out to me that that it was only 9.5, and I could see him going over that. Even on one play, on one little screenplay. I just feel like the game plan has to be to stop Barkley running. Right, he's been a powerhouse all year, so that has to be the game plan. So I took a little bit of a different look on it and took Barkley's receptions over reception yards over 9.5. That's what I took. And that's all my plays I got on this so far. So good. Oh yeah, I got another prop play. Tampa Bay, same theory with Tampa Bay. Mike Evans, the whole Mike Evans thing. Them going to him, going to him, going to him. He's getting double teamed every game. He's going to be double teamed again. And that kid McMillan, man, I think he's the next star on that team. He's good. I mean, he might not be as good as Evans yet, but he's a young kid. He's good. His receiving yards this week, 58.5. I think he goes over that. I think those are solid prop plays for someone that doesn't play props. So there
I
you go.
I
There's my
I,
4 cents on the wild card weekend. Go ahead.
I got an easy lineup for this one on this wild card weekend or whatever you want to call it. Um, I'm gonna take a teaser. I'm definitely taking Pittsburgh teased up off of that 9.5 against the Ravens, and I also want the Broncos teased up off the 8. Because to me, Broncos could outright beat the Bills on a good day, and to me, Pittsburgh's defense can hold Baltimore inside of that 9.5. And I'm just worried about this Chargers game. Do you think I should tease the over down to 35.5, or should I tease the Texans plus 8.5? You mute. You muted.
I think that's a tough game to tease, to be honest with you. I like the Chargers. I didn't like the -3. I think the game could just land on 3. So I guess if you like the, I just don't trust the Texans to play well. I mean, I don't know, but we'll see. I couldn't answer that question. Are there going to be points scored in the game? Yeah, I would think the total is knocking down to what, 35? You said that's pretty solid.
To go over that.
Yeah, that's pretty solid. I mean, Chargers defense have been good this year. I don't know, they don't score that many points, but
That's
still.
what I was thinking too,
Um,
because I don't really like going across the number with the Chargers. I mean, I do like the Chargers. Going across the number would be more like taking a money line, but it's already a short number. So
I don't trust. I honestly, I don't trust Denver either. But like the Ravens, if I was going to tease that game, I would bring Buffalo into a what from is it was it 8 now, 8 or 9 down to if I can get a number under 3, I would take the Bills in a
Big
teaser on that
Ragu
side.
says, "Oh,
What's
Big
that?
Ragu said Houston is weak sauce."
Yeah, I agree. I agree, but we'll see.
He
I
said
agree.
also tease the Bills. They aren't losing. He says tease the Chargers and the Bills. Teasing the Chargers going across the
Oh, there you
number.
go. We're on the same wavelength.
Well, maybe I'm a tease. I'll tease the Chargers. I'll go across the number because it's the right thing to do.
So listen, the whole thing this year in the NFL with the favorites have been winning. We all know everyone's talking about how the favorites are winning. Favorites are winning. Playoffs could be a different story, and we might see some. And wild card weekend, you never know. There's always an underdog that pops in there, right? So
Yeah, it's
we'll
gonna be
see.
cold.
I'm
I,
hoping the underdog that wins is the Packers. That's who I hope it's who the underdog is that's going to win. But we might not see just favorites just blowing out like they have been because it's been uncanny this year that the favorites have been winning.
Maybe I should tease the over in the Broncos and Bills. Tease it down to 42, over 42. What you think about that, Big Ragu? Over 42 in the Bills Broncos game.
That might not be bad. Hey, I'm typing in my plays. I only got one more to go.
So it looks like I could take this right here. Pittsburgh plus 15 and a half, Chargers plus 3.5, and Broncos and Bills over 42. I think I'm gonna take that.
I don't. It should be fun. It should
It's
be
plus
fun.
150. It's plus 150.
Yes, that's good. That's one thing I picked up on doing the teasers this year is I I started loving the three team teaser that's only 6.5 points or 6 points because I always try to be on that half point. I will not lose again in another teaser in my life on a goddamn tie. So I always try to get on that half point, and I'll look at games just to be on that half. But anyhow, getting that plus money to me is more valuable than getting the 10 points out of as a minus. To be honest with you, so I
And
like that.
that's my only play right
Be
there
right back.
in NFL is that
Be right
teaser.
back.
So
Come on,
yeah.
Shelly.
Oh, Don Ricci's plays are in the chat as well. He got Iowa State, Kansas. He also has South Florida. I think I might hop on that South Florida too. And he also has Missouri minus 3.5. And then for me, I have College of Charleston minus 6, Stanford minus 7.5, Cal minus 7, St. John's minus 6.5, and Oregon State minus 9 are my plays. I got a couple other plays too. I ain't really put them in yet, but some of them are coming up soon. I like the under in the Arkansas, Texas Southern. I like Hawaii minus 8.5, Marshall minus 8.5, Akron minus 8. I probably put all of these in a money line parlay and see how that work out because all of those games kind of go on around the same time. So yeah, I'm liking that right there. Who else is left here in the chat with us? We went all the way up to 87,000 people watching us this morning. It is early in Cali, man. Um, yeah, and that Charger game too, man. I'm thinking in the Charger game, Dom, that they're gonna have this whole thing about the fires and all that kind of stuff. And
Well, that's more similar on the Rams game than the Chargers game. The Chargers were
Charger,
going to be on the road as it was. Chargers game
no,
didn't get moved. The
but they're
Rams
gonna
game
be
got moved.
they, but they're the LA Chargers.
I
They're
know
gonna be
that. I
like
know
we
that.
LA strong
So
and
they're
all
going.
this good
All
stuff.
right. So that's more of a reason why you would like the Chargers, is what you're saying, right? Because they're
Yeah.
playing for that state, right? I think the flies is a big thing. I was going to get into that before we stop. The you know moving of that game. So certain a whole thing happened with moving of that game. Is from a game. Obviously, prayers and thoughts go out to everybody in those damn flies. I mean, you're right there, bro. And I know you got family members involved with it and stuff. And it's it's just insane what's going on out there. But as far as the betting concerned, certain books canceled the bets, and certain books kept the bets. And depending on what your book did, that's a big thing because the line changed. So you might have got good, like the old closing line value on the Vikings if you bet them the other day, and
Mhm.
it got switched now, or vice versa, because the Rams are favored at first, right? Slightly. So I like the Rams from the beginning. I said whoever lost that Minnesota Detroit game, I was going to bet the Rams. I think they have the experience, the quarterback. I don't know how much this whole fire thing and what personally they're involved in, and if any of their houses or any of their family members could be weighing on their head too. It's hard to figure if it's a motivator or not for a team. But as far as the line is concerned, it's a little tricky now with the Rams, you know. But I was the guy who
Well,
followed. I was the guy who was on Minnesota all year long. I'm a Sam Donald fan. Ever since he was the Jets, even though he lost me a ton of money, which he got back for me this year, which was pretty good. But I just like the Rams against whoever lost that game last week because I just feel that playing for the division and then dropping down to a 5 seed and going on the road after winning 14 games is a little tough to swallow. More so than just the way the Vikings played. Detroit just seems to have their number. I don't know. I don't think Minnesota's going to play as bad as they did last week, but I still like the Rams.
I think Minnesota is good. I think Minnesota kind of shot their load. Like every team can't play at a high level all year like that and
Yeah,
then still have gas in the tank. I think they kind of
and
and then Minnesota, same thing with Detroit too. They kind of isolate themselves because they do so well on turf.
right.
So I think they said uh, Detroit had a great season because they only had to play like 2 or 3 games on grass for the whole season. So that's going to play its factor in games too. What type of surface it's on and all that kind of stuff. Shout out to Big Ragu. He
That's a
says,
good point, though. That's a good point. Put that
but
up.
in the Rams game, they're really like you said, they are going to show up for the Rams. I'm pretty sure the areas that were affected by the fires are areas that are rich areas. So some
Yeah,
of these guys definitely lost
without a
their
doubt.
home. I'm
Without a
I'm
doubt.
pretty sure one of them got one person on the team that house. They might be living somewhere else or at the other house or whatever, but I'm pretty sure they've been affected by it, even for the Chargers and for the Rams. And these
And,
fires are still going.
and as far as the Rams are concerned, and Doc brought up a good point. As far as the Rams are concerned, that their home field isn't the same as Minnesota's home field or Detroit's home field or a lot of teams' home field. They don't, it's not a big football, city, let's say. So they don't really have the kind of crowds that other teams get. So there you go. It
Yeah.
should be interesting. I think it's going to be a nice wide open. Hopefully we got some teams in here that haven't really been in it. I always seem to like the Ravens at the beginning of these playoffs, and they never get, and they just seem to blow it right away. So we'll see what happens. I don't think the
Well,
Chiefs. Who knows? Okay, the Chiefs are just like on autopilot, man. They were playing like average. They were playing like mensa mensa, as we say in Italian, and all of a sudden, the last 3 games of the year, they turned it on. They were they were a different team. Those last couple games I watched, the Chiefs were like a totally different team. They just know, experience. Like I talk about with the Rams, they got the coach and the quarterback with the experience. The Chiefs got the damn experience. That means a lot in the playoffs. So
yep,
that's all
absolutely.
I got for you.
That's all I got too, man. We've been on for just under an hour. We got about 10 plays in, 5 from me, 5 from you, plus my teaser for the NFL and a few NFL bets for you. So if there's any other questions in the chat, shoot them out. We'll go cover those. But other than that,
I
like
think
I said,
so.
I got
Some
I
points
got
are
to
going to be scored in that Tampa Bay Bucks game. By the way, I think the Tampa Bay over is a good teaser leg to whatever teasers you want to throw in. I think that over brings it down to around 43 ish, 43 and a half, 44 above. I think there's going to be points scored in that game. That's for sure. Anyway, go ahead.
That's it for me, man. I'm about ready to get out of
Me
here.
too.
Appreciate
It's
everybody
time to roll
showing
up.
up. Make sure you come back and see us next Saturday because we are going to be doing this on Saturdays, and maybe we get Big Ragu or Wine Time, some of these people that showed up with us
They could
to
both come on. They could
come
talk about
hang
come
out
on.
with us.
Doc, come on and cap the football card for next weekend.
Yep. So we are going to be out of here. We appreciate y'all. Y'all
Thank
stay
you, everybody.
safe.
We got next.